It stood at the end of Willow Street, a specter against the fading light. The old house was a monument to decay, a testament to time and tragedy. Its paint peeled like dying skin. The garden, once vibrant, was now a tangle of weeds and thorns. The windows, dark and lifeless, seemed to watch passers-by with a malevolent gaze. Locals whispered tales about the house. They spoke of it with a mix of fear and morbid fascination. The house was a place of shadows. It was a place where whispers danced on the wind. It was a place where the past refused to die. And within its decaying walls, there lay a secret that defied logic and fueled the darkest nightmares. A staircase that should not exist. The staircase was a study in contradiction. Its polished mahogany gleamed, a stark contrast to the house's decrepitude. Each step seemed to creak a warning, a silent plea to turn back. The staircase spiraled upwards into darkness, its banister cold and smooth under trembling fingers. It was an anomaly, an architectural impossibility. The house's blueprints, yellowed with age, told a different story. They showed only 2 floors, yet the staircase stubbornly ascended to a third floor that shouldn't exist. A third floor shrouded in an unsettling silence, a silence thicker than the dust that coated everything. It was an invitation to the unknown, a siren song to the curious and the foolish. Those who dared to climb the staircase spoke of strange occurrences. They felt the air grow heavy, as if an unseen presence watched their every move. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, whispers too faint to decipher, yet too chilling to ignore. Shadows danced at the edge of vision, fleeting glimpses of something moving just beyond perception. Some claimed to have seen a spectral figure at the top of the stairs. A woman in a white gown, her face obscured by shadow, her eyes glowing with an eerie light. Others spoke of disembodied laughter echoing through the empty halls. They described a feeling of dread so profound it bordered on the physical. The house on Willow Street was not merely haunted. It was a breeding ground for terror. Eleanor Vance, the latest resident, was a recluse. She was a woman haunted by her own demons, drawn to the house by some unseen force. She had moved in a few months ago, her arrival as silent and unnoticed as the falling of autumn leaves. She kept to herself, rarely venturing out. Her only companion, a sleek black cat with unsettling yellow eyes. The townsfolk whispered about Eleanor, speculating about her past, her reasons for choosing the house on Willow Street. Some said she was running from something. Others claimed she was searching for something. The truth, like the house itself, remained shrouded in mystery. Section 5. The Teenager's Dare. One humid July night, a group of teenagers, fueled by bravado and cheap beer, decided to explore the house. They were the kind of kids who dared each other to do stupid things, their laughter echoing hollowly in the stillness of the night. The house on Willow Street, with its reputation for being haunted, was the perfect target for their reckless curiosity. They had heard the stories, of course, the whispers of a staircase leading nowhere, of strange noises and ghostly apparitions, but they dismissed them as mere folklore, the ramblings of superstitious townspeople. They were young, invincible, and too naive to comprehend the true nature of the darkness that awaited them within those crumbling walls. The ringleader, a cocky boy named Jake, boasted that he would spend the entire night in the house, daring anyone to join him. 2 others, Mark and Lisa, emboldened by the group's bravado, agreed to the challenge. Section 6, Trapped in the Mirror Room. They entered the house, their laughter dying on their lips as the oppressive atmosphere enveloped them. The air inside was heavy, stagnant, laced with the scent of decay and something else, something ancient and malevolent. They found the staircase easily, its polished wood gleaming ominously in the darkness. They climbed, their hearts pounding in their chests, their eyes darting nervously around the shadows. They reached the 3rd floor, the floor that shouldn't exist, and found themselves in a long, narrow hallway. Doors lined either side, each one closed, each one promising something sinister within. At the end of the hallway, bathed in the eerie glow of the moon, was a room unlike any other. It was circular, its walls covered floor to ceiling in mirrors. In the center of the room sat a grand piano, its black lacquer reflecting the moonlight like a pool of blood. Section 7. A Town in Fear. The teenagers never emerged from the house. Their disappearance sent shockwaves through the small town. The police investigated, of course, but their efforts were met with dead ends and unsettling discoveries. The townsfolk, their whispers now laced with genuine fear, spoke of the house in hushed tones. They knew, as did the police, that the teenagers were more than likely dead, but their bodies were never found. The house on Willow Street stood silent, its windows dark and accusing. The town council, desperate to quell the growing fear, decided to condemn the house. They boarded up the windows and doors, erected a chain-link fence around the property, and posted warning signs. But the measures did little to ease the town's unease. The house remained, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within its walls. In Section 9, Emily's turn. Emily, a young woman with a thirst for the unknown and a disregard for local lore, was drawn to the house on Willow Street. She had heard the stories, of course, but she dismissed them as mere superstition. She was a skeptic, a rationalist, convinced that there was a logical explanation for everything. She had been researching the house for months, poring over old newspaper articles, interviewing townsfolk, even managing to get her hands on the original blueprints. She was determined to prove that the legend of the house was nothing more than an elaborate hoax. So, one moonless night, armed with a flashlight, a camera, and a healthy dose of skepticism, Emily breached the fence surrounding the property and approached the house. Section 10. The Echo's Embrace. Emily stepped inside, the door creaking ominously behind her. The air was thick with dust, and the silence was absolute. She shone her flashlight around, its beam cutting through the darkness, revealing peeling wallpaper, cobwebs, and the faint outline of furniture draped in white sheets. She found the staircase easily, its mahogany gleaming even in the dim light. She ascended, her footsteps echoing in the stillness. As she climbed, she felt a change in the atmosphere. The air grew colder, heavier, and a strange pressure built in her ears. She reached the third floor, the floor that shouldn't exist, and found herself facing a long, narrow hallway. And at the end of the hallway, she saw it, a circular room bathed in an eerie, ethereal light. She stepped into the room, and as she did, she heard a voice. It was soft, a whisper, almost too faint to hear, but it sent chills down her spine. "Welcome, Emily," the voice said. "We've been expecting you." Emily spun around, her flashlight beam darting around the room, but she saw no one. The room was empty, except for the grand piano in the center. And the mirrors. The mirrors were everywhere, reflecting her image back at her from every angle. But it wasn't her reflection that stared back at her. Section 11. The staircase remains. The house on Willow Street still stands today. It remains abandoned, a testament to the darkness that resides within. The town council has tried to demolish the house on several occasions, but every attempt has been met with strange and unexplainable accidents. The house, it seems, refuses to be destroyed, and the staircase remains. Its polished mahogany gleams, an open invitation to the unwary and the curious. But be warned. Those who dare to climb its steps may never return, For the house on Willow Street is a place of shadows and whispers, where the past refuses to die and the echoes of lost souls linger in the air. It is a place where the veil between this world and the next is thin, a place where the darkness waits to claim new victims. The staircase, a chilling reminder of the house's sinister past, beckons. Will you answer its call?